So I've started taking a dive into legend scale figures, no thanks to these people, and this one was something that I had my eye on for a while. So while filming this video, very interesting things happened, which you'll see throughout, which kind of changed my opinion on this toy as I was filming it. So let's just get right into it. Before I get started though, just gotta, plug the P.O. box. Here's the address if you want to send anything. I will be opening some stuff soon, or have already, depending on whether or not the things that I've ordered have arrived. And if you want to support the channel, you can check out the Patreon. That'll be linked in the description below. So this is the Magnus core bot, and it actually looks really nice. It's solid and just looks like a great G1 Optimus mold. I remember when pics first started coming out of this guy, and I was like, that looks exactly like MP-44, but smaller. And I can definitely see that here. The colors are pretty well done, and the white is nice and crisp. The legs are a bit too skinny, like in certain areas, and when you activate the ankle pivots, it kind of looks wonky, but proportionally overall, it looks pretty fine. Now, I've sort of been lying to you-ish. I've been shooting this on a macro lens. If I switch to my standard kit lens and zoom out, yeah, this is actually very small. Look at how much G1 they were able to stuff in something this small. It's insane. And this becomes a truck that isn't a nightmare to transform. MP-44. But it does have two really, really big issues. Number one, the torso is super loose. I can't use the ab crunch at all. And that's also an issue on my buddy Nick's figure. And two, the paint chipping. Oh, God. Smokestacks, paint chip. Chest plate, paint chips. Waist, paint chips. It's really not pretty. It's a shame because I really, really, really like this toy, but those issues kind of hold it back a lot. He does have extra hands and guns, but they're mostly for the other mode because the hands are slightly bigger than the standard ones. And you can also open his matrix chamber up. Please do not lose the matrix. And because this guy's chest opens differently from Prime's for some reason, even though the pins are there, they open it differently. You scuff the paint right off. Like, yeah, it's terrible. The robot honestly looks great and still blows me away that they're able to get such an amazing figure at this small scale. I mean, it wouldn't really blow me away if MP-44 didn't exist, but because that figure exists and all of the issues and problems people had with that, and you could just buy this instead, it's just, it blows me away. It's a really, really good thing. The only thing is those paint chipping. Oh, and before we move on, one more thing. A lot of people don't like the chest sticking out as far as it does, and yeah, it can be really annoying, especially when trying to do a shot like the promo image that they originally put out for Prime. His chest is just kind of sticking straight out. Articulation's really good. He has a bunch of joints you wouldn't even see on today's deluxes. It's really awesome to get this guy into some really dynamic stances and poses. However, that ab crunch being super loose really ruins it for me a lot. For a figure like this, I feel like it would be a key joint, especially when you want to put it on like a flight stand. But alas, mine and my buddies are just floppy messes. Transformation is involved yet fun. It doesn't do any of the MP-44 weirdness. It's super pleasant most of the time. There are parts where you don't want to manhandle it, like the doors, and there are parts you want to make sure everything is aligned properly before you close panels off, mainly the legs and the hands. I recommend when you fold the arms in to the truck, rotating the fists so that they are the correct way up in truck mode, like the correct way up as you would normally. That way the doors stay closed, because otherwise the doors won't shut properly. Truck mode is perfect. Like for something this small, it's perfect. The truck bed does stick up a little bit, but that's fine. Something at this scale trying to be Masterpiece style Transformer, I can forgive that. The lines again on this mode are as consistent as the robot mode. They look sharp and clean. Same goes for the paint if it hasn't scratched off. That pinkish panel on the front really helps take a break from all that white, making the front look less boring. I also love the silver on the truck. I just wish it, didn't chip. I believe also the grill is die-cast, or portions of the grill are die-cast, so that's nice. The doors do open to reveal hands. I mean, it's kind of useless, but as a transformation step anyways, why not take advantage of it as a quote-unquote feature? The truck mode fits a lot better than the robot mode with like official Legends and core figures, if that's something that interests you, but this really makes me want to get more Newage figures to put next to this guy going forward. Now, if that's all this guy did, that'd be great. Not worth the price, but still cool. However, this isn't all the figure does. Enter the trailer. This is Ultra Magnus now. The trailer colors are so clean, the combo is done very well, and the paintwork is super nice. However, the underside of the car carrier arm things at the top looks kind of bad because there's the paint bleed from the top. I know why they couldn't paint it, I just wish it was a little bit cleaner, like the lines were more defined. The trailer can hitch onto the back of the truck, obviously, and I believe it can hold Newage car bots. I don't have any, so there's that. I'll try and shove, like, first movie Legion barricade in there. The truck as a whole is really cool, but the main reason you buy Magnus is for the Magnus. Combining the trailer with the core robot is pretty easy. You just prep the core robot a bit and slap the armor on. Piece of cake. Now, when you have him in his trademark Magnus mode, he looks good. This guy still has some problems now presented with the combined mode. Number one, the ears like to fall off on mine, like a lot. It's really annoying. Number two, the arms of the core robot are just hanging out on the top. Kind of wish they had a panel that folded over that. It would have been kind of easy to do. Number three, the extra weight of the legs making them a bit more wobbly, especially at the knee, and also creating more torso issues. Number four, mine has super loose bicep swivels. And number five, these hip panels fall off all the time. It's annoying. Those are my main issues with this guy. Otherwise, he's pretty cool. The robot looks stellar, proportions are pretty good, and those same clean, crisp colors from the alt mode are present here. You can still open the matrix chamber, which is really cool. Please don't chip the paint. You can plug the extra hands in here, and these fit here more than the core mode because they're the same size as the hands on the Magnus body itself. On looks, it's great. How about posing? Well, it's just the same as the smaller robot. Like, all the same joints are present in here too. Like, there's literally no difference. The armor does limit some of the range of those joints a little bit because he is a bit of a thicker dude now. But it's so nice. I was expecting it to be a lot more limited with all this kit on, but to my surprise, I like it a lot. It's great. I love the figure, and at $80 for someone who's never bought a Legends toy, that seems like it's very expensive, and it is. But having owned it for a few weeks and messed with it, it does feel worth it. Is what I would say if the thing didn't start paint chipping on me like crazy. That 80 like I tweeted about it, and a lot of people, and I put it on Discord, and a lot of people were telling me like they could have easily just kept the David chest piece, or they could have made them out of white plastic panels and then put inserts in of the clear plastic. That would have been nice. But that paint chipping on the front of the truck is just so blatantly in your face now on the core robot, which is kind of how I display this figure, and that really bothers me. The smokestacks as well don't rub against anything. That's just from my hands. Like, that's just from me picking it up, and the paint just like sticks to my thumb. And then the waist section, the crotch piece, when you're transforming it, that's when the paint scratches. It's really unfortunate to see for something this price. Like, I know MP-44 has paint chipping issues. I know MP-52's got paint chipping issues. I know, like, a lot of the Masterpiece figures nowadays, minus skids, have paint chipping issues. There's also a lot of third-party toys out there that also have paint chipping issues, like that big Mega Dragon or whatever it's called. And, like, it's a common thing, but it shouldn't be a common thing, and there are easy workarounds in a lot of cases, like on Newage Magnus, where Newage kind of encourages you to pose this thing in all of its marketing, and then when you do, it starts flaking off. It's not the best experience. Like, you can get, I know that the regular David mold doesn't have a lot of these issues because it's almost a completely different mold, so that one's probably fine, but for this Magnus mold, it's hard to recommend at 80 USD. If you can find it for like a cheaper price, I would say maybe 60 US dollars, like on sale, then it's worth it. Like, it's totally worth it. But at that price, you're paying for a Legends class figure that can turn himself into a deluxe class figure full of paint chips. Don't think it's worth it. But that's been my look at Newage Ultra Magnus. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.